First things first, today we're going to talk about Starblood Arena for the PlayStation VR, and before I get into the nitty-gritty, I need to make one detail very clear. Starblood Arena is a good game. Having said that, I will now proceed to rip it to pieces. Though there is plenty of good things to say about what developer WhiteMoon Dreams did in Starblood Arena and the PlayStation VR platform, and I promise to cover those things too, something must be said about game producers' fear of really pushing the envelope when it comes to PlayStation VR. Time and time again, all that's been released are games that all feel like very simple tech demos, just skimming the surface of what virtual reality can do. And the producers of Starblood Arena feel no less skeptical. Starblood Arena doesn't necessarily require a captivating story, but maybe a little context would help. The game's menu screen and the two-dimensional hosts provide what little detail about the world we will ever get. They describe an audience we will never see, that even plays a nearly non-existent role in the gameplay, only being the explanation for the choice of randomized timed events such as obstacles or an influx of power-ups. Apparently, you're a contestant, a slave, employee, average citizen. There's really no context for what your purpose is except for higher ratings on the Starblood network. Why you'd risk your life for ratings, I'm not really sure. Just make sure you shoot down as many foes before your own inevitable destruction. I wouldn't even say that this is a bad explanation. I just like a little more context and backstory. Its characters all seem very well thought out in design, and their attacks were precisely developed and provide a unique edge in combat to every character. But would it kill the developer to put a little bit more effort into their motivations? This was one of the things that games like Twisted Metal and Soul Calibur always excelled at. Though those characters fought to the death, the game was very deliberate in telling us why, resulting in sympathy for the characters to push just a little harder for the win. I'll admit though that a proper backstory isn't going to make a huge difference to the player. One thing that will, however, is the proper volume of content.
My ass felt kind of lumpy.
What the fuck is that? A googly tongue. A googly tongue. Real? What the fuck? That's a googly tongue, huh? Yes, when it comes to content in Starblood Arena, it boasts about its 5 different modes, but personally, I can only count 3. There's Carnage, a straightforward game of deathmatch, Gridiron, an inventive twist on the classic basketball, and Invasion, that requires players to protect their bases from wave after wave of invading forces. That is unfortunately unplayable in single player because it honestly requires multiple players to properly protect multiple bases, and as of right now, impossible to play online because of non-existent matches available. The last 2 modes in question are Team Carnage, but there really is nothing team about it. Sure, you might fight on a team, but if someone on your team manages to rack up more points than you, you'll still lose the match as an individual and be forced to play the round again until you prevail as the one with the best scorecard and happen to also be on the winning team. So in all honesty, it's really just a game of deathmatch, except there are a few pilots that you'll be unable to destroy. Lastly, there's Burn Circuit. That really isn't a mode at all, it's just 10 matches on a handful of maps that all feel very same as you switch between Carnage, Gridiron, and Team Carnage. The levels themselves don't change between pilots, so after you play the first few times, it will start to feel like a chore when you're just working through the motions to unlock the rest of your character skins. Knowing that the game is just $40, I was scared at first that its unlocks might be behind a dreaded microtransaction. Thankfully, they're all unlockable in-game after earning in-game credits. Though there is a huge stockpile of unlockables, many being unique to specific pilots such as new skins and customized ships, but the vast majority are, well, kinda lame. Sorry, but I really don't feel all that compelled to put in extra time just to unlock a pizza box to rot away in my cockpit. I chuckled at a few of the oddities and genuinely loved some of the character skins, but when push came to shove, I didn't really give a shit about unlocking them all. It would be nice if they were put into categories, maybe, so I didn't have to wait to randomly acquire the skin I was looking for. The lack of meaningful content is only going to result in a player base that will never stabilize due to boredom, and that's a shame because like I said in the beginning of the video, Starblood Arena is not a bad game. I had some genuine moments of excitement while playing it, and I felt an overwhelming sense of satisfaction when I blew 6 of my foes out of the sky in a row, all while pretending I was a large being from another planet with an affinity for sleeping.
Now this map, I remember. Look at my fucking awesome pajamas. Look at my fucking awesome alien pajamas.
Something I can personally relate to. The characters are all very well thought out, and their personalities come in the skins as well as the taunts they'll use during your fights. I just once again ask that there be more than just 3 or 4 taunts in total, because I really got sick of hearing the same line of dialogue every match I played.
I think I'm done. Actually, nope.
Again, there is a lack of content that dampens what little is actually there. I like these characters, and their foundation was laid out distinctly and skillfully, but there was never any life breathed into them. I also quite enjoyed experiencing the chaos that ensued within each match, and loved the sight of single-minded AI frantically fighting for a ball, not unlike a fight with a Tasmanian devil in a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Get the ass water! Who these motherfuckers stand? God damn it!
The controls all felt more or less natural to me too, and I was surprised to find that once I accepted that up was down and down was up, while right was also down but left was down and up, I would have little issues with motion sickness, despite having no concept of the ground or the ceiling. It was strangely fun to pilot a ship that could hover or fly in any direction while performing loop-de-loops, but I will admit to some slight discomfort at first.
Oh wow.
You've mastered moving. Hooray for you.
Well, this is getting fucked up.
Vapid galactic species are confused by the concepts of up and down. Your ship can accommodate their...
In conclusion, I want to send a very friendly message to every developer producing content for virtual reality. I am only critical because I love what you're doing and I want you to succeed. But we're over half a year into the life of PlayStation VR, and if it's going to become the future of gaming, we're going to need to put a little bit more content in its games. And this whole tech demo released as a discounted price has got to stop. It was fine at launch, but these short experiences were only meant to give an idea of what virtual reality can do and are going to start feeling like incomplete games. Please. I believe in virtual reality as much as you do. I've seen what it can do, and I want more time as Batman. And I need to have more than just 15 minutes with my X-Wing and beeping R2 unit. Starblood Arena is a good time, but how much time I spend with it really is in how long its content will take me. Until Starblood Arena gives me a little more bang for my buck, I'm going to have to rate it as a completed release that would otherwise score much higher. For these reasons, I reluctantly give Starblood Arena for the PlayStation VR a 5.5 out of 10.
Yes, we're going naked.
Is it
Once again, I'd like to thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Obsessor Forever, and if you enjoyed that, I have 2 other videos queued up for you, so buckle up, goddammit, and enjoy the silliness and craziness of my insanity videos. You will laugh. Well, you might not laugh. You could enjoy it, but, either way, just like and subscribe, watch more videos. That'd be great. Like and subscribe.